So, Google Display Network. We've been using Google Display Network for your campaigns for quite a while, but we've really only been using one aspect of it, and that was called the retargeting or remarketing. So that was essentially when someone would come to your website, a visitor would come to your website, we had code on there that would drop a cookie on their web browser, and from then on, while that user of your site traveled the web, they would see banner ads that we could target to them based on that cookie. So, for example, if someone came to your website and went into a specific product category and they did not convert, then we would show them a banner advertisement for that product with a call to action and a unique sales proposition to drive them back to that product detail page or category page that they were on previously on your site. We did this because it's highly effective. It's worked really great for most of your campaigns, most everyone that's running it. And the reason we did not do the other targeting options within the Google Display Network is because they were honestly not that good. So it was really frustrating because the Google Display Network is so huge. There's 2 million websites that are showing these banner ads that we serve up through Google. So you can see some of their logos up here on the screen. Common ones that we see in campaigns we're running are CNN, Forbes, if they're technology focused, nature.com, for example. And what we want to do now, since Google rolled out a more advanced targeting options in the Google Display Network, is leverage this amazing 2 million websites and target people not just on their previous transactions they had on your site, which is what we've always been doing with the Google Display Network, but targeting them based on their behavior and their interests across the entire internet. So Google, since they have these ads on those 200 million websites, and this slide shows they have a reach of 92% of the entire internet, they have a really good profile on every web surfer out there. So they know their interests and behavior. Using the new GDN targeting options, which just came out in June, we can now target people based on that past behavior. So that's how we're going to get your ads to show up across these 200 million sites. Why are we a good company to work with on doing this? Just quickly, since this new Google Display Network targeting options came out within June, we've really not just doubled down, we've quadrupled down on our efforts on the Google Display Network, and we have 14 staff now, Google certified in AdWords and Google Analytics. So we've made a large investment into making sure all of our staff are on the cutting edge of these things and completed all the Google training and done extensive research and testing in-house to ensure that when we implement these campaigns, they're at the highest quality possible. So what do these ads look like? We talked about how large of breadth of the internet they can cover. Let's show some examples of exactly where you see them. So this is a wonderful website I really like, iflscience.com. If anyone knows what IFL stands for in that, just put it in the chat room on the GoToWebinar. So yeah, it's ifuckinglovescience.com. Great website, very interesting. And this is a site that many of our customers' target audience will go to on a casual basis. So by positioning banner ads targeting their behavior, we can present your products to them. So you can see here, there's actually 3 banner ads showing above the fold on this site. So 1 in the top header position and 2 on the right-hand side. There's, even though if we go back to the previous slide, those are showing 3 different banner ad positions, there's actually 10 commonly used ones on the Google Display Network. So when we build out a GDN campaign for you, these are the ones that we're going to want to focus on. There are about 8 more mobile ones that we're not including on here and other tablet variations, but the amount of impressions and clicks that they get is not significant enough for us to pursue those. So we just want to focus on the 10 that are going to give you the highest results. So what makes a great banner ad? And just I'll stop for a second before we get into this. The actual targeting options of how we decide who to position those banner ads in front of. That's what Anjali and Feby are going to get into in their segment coming up next. So what makes a great Google Display Network banner ad? The one on the right, I think this is a highly, highly effective ad. So this is something that David and I are both really interested in. We actually know a number of our clients are also. Thought it was a good example. So, faces are always very, very important on the ads. Even though the gentleman's face flying this plane is very small, you can see he's really, enjoying himself. So it has real people actually realizing the benefits of your product or service. And instantly I know what it is that's being sold because I can look down at that iMac on the screen and see that it's a web application or a training video or something that's on my computer that's going to help me achieve passing this test. And that's where the clear headline comes into play. It clearly tells me what the benefits of this will be if I click on the banner ad. So it'll give me free practice tests. And the strong call to action, which just like anything we do on your websites, very important, get it now. So that is a good example of one type of ad that we would design for you. But what we actually do is design multiple ads, because the really unique part about the Google Display Network, especially for B2B companies in vertical industries like manufacturing lab equipment or distributing lab equipment, is that on the Google Display Network, you can get a tremendous amount of impressions and views. So you can really test different ad copies, different visuals, different messaging, and see what works best for that product and customer you're trying to present it to. So that's where we believe always be testing. So some things that we test are including, people, faces versus product images, all graphics, all text, and most importantly, really having that individual person's face on there. Everyone, when they're looking at banner ads, men obviously look at women in ads, and women look at women as well, and also babies, not men. But even geeks don't want to look at chromatographs. Charts on a banner ad are not going to get someone's